Hello, social work colleagues and friends. I'm Kim Jackson-Massaro. I work as an LCSW based in California and a certified clinical EFT practitioner worldwide. In honor of the 2024 National Social Work Month in March, I recorded this EFT tapping session designed to help support fellow social work colleagues in the field. The message within, however, can be applied to all of us in the helping professions, who at times can lose sight of our why, the part that keeps us going. For those unfamiliar with emotional freedom techniques, EFT or tapping, as it's called, the energy psychology technique has been growing in popularity, being used both personally and in therapeutic settings worldwide. There are now over 300 English language publications supporting its efficacy with evidence supporting treatment for PTSD, depression, anxiety, phobias, and food cravings. EFT uses cognition, somatic experiencing, and kinesthetic tapping on acupressure meridians to send electrical signals to the brain to deactivate the stress response in the central nervous system. Today, we'll be using it to address burnout. If you're unfamiliar with tapping, that's okay. We'll review the tapping points together. First is the side of the hand point, right underneath the bottom knuckle of your pinky finger on the small fleshy part of the hand. You want to tap on this spot gently but firmly. And if tapping feels too activating for you, that's okay too. You can rub the spot, and that's all right as well. The next spot will be the top of the head spot. And so we'll just put our fingers in our ears, join our two middle fingers, and that's the part of the head that you want to tap on. The next point is the inner eyebrow point, right on the edge where the hair of the eyebrow begins. Tap 2 points here or rub gently. The next is the outer eyebrow, right on the edge of the occipital bone, right before you stick your finger in your eye. The next is underneath your eye on the occipital bone, right beneath where your pupil would be. The next is underneath the nose, underneath the lower lip, above the chin. The next is the collarbone point. Find the inner bone that starts your collarbone, go down an inch and over. And you'll find that there's a divot right here that you just want to press your fingers into a little bit more firmly in this area as the meridian point is underneath the skin. The last tapping point will be underneath your arm. For women, right around where the lower bra strap is, or for men, 4 to 5 fingers down from the armpit. Using all 4 fingers, making sure you can get that spot. Perfect. If you need a refresher at any point about the 9 main tapping points, I've included a link to the tappingsolution.com where they have a wonderful synopsis of those 9 tapping points, which organ system they're linked to in the body, as well as what it promotes when we tap on those areas. Now that we know our points, it's time to begin tapping. Take a moment now to tune into that idea of burnout. Does it resonate with you? I know it does with me sometimes. Do you feel overwhelming exhaustion when you walk through the doors at work? Or maybe there are moments where you feel like you just can't connect with good feelings anymore. Does the world around you feel gray? Tune into that feeling and notice if there's an area inside of your body that you might be feeling tension or stress related to the idea of burnout. If you need to, pause the recording and make a note of where that is and how intense it feels in your body on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being the worst distress you've ever felt. Now, take a deep breath in through your nose, release it through your mouth, and let's start tapping. Even though I feel really burnt out right now, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I feel burnt out by my work right now, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I feel really burnt out right now by my job and everything that goes along with it, I choose to love, honor, and accept how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling burnt out. I'm feeling overwhelmed by how much there is to do. Feeling like I can't get it all done. Feeling exhausted. Like I want to escape. Like I just don't care anymore. Like what I do doesn't matter. I'm feeling burnt out. A deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. What are you noticing? Was there a statement in that round of tapping that resonated with you? Maybe you noticed emotions coming up. Maybe you felt some tears coming up or you felt angry. Pause the recording. Take note of what you notice coming up for you and the events that the tapping brought up. Write them down. You can choose to tap on them again later. Now, check in with that number that you wrote down before. Did you notice a shift in your body? Maybe the number changed. Did it go down? Maybe it went up. Maybe when you started thinking about all of this, it went up. And that's okay. All of it is okay. Now, I know many of you may be saying to me, but Kim, I love my clients and I love what I do. I hear you. I do. I resonate with you. And I know that there are parts of us that can feel at war inside of us about this feeling of burnout. So let's tap to address those parts. Even though a part of me loves my clients and my work, another part of me dreads waking up in the morning. And I choose to accept and love both parts of me. Even though a part of me feels really good when I can help someone improve their life in some way. Another part of me feels exhausted from all the barriers that are put up in both of our ways. And I choose to love and honor myself and how I feel. Even though a part of me feels really passionate about bringing positive change to the world, another part of me wants to escape when I hit the wall so many times and have no resources left to give. And I choose to love honor, and accept myself and the feelings that I have in this moment. A part of me loves my clients. A part of me dreads waking up in the morning to go to work. A part of me feels really good when I can help my clients. Another part of me feels exhausted. A part of me feels passionate about changing the world for the good. And another part of me wants to escape because I'm done hitting my head on the wall. I let my mind, my body, and my spirit know that it's okay to accept all of these parts of myself. Accepting all parts of me with compassion. Nice deep breath in. Let it out slowly through your mouth. What are you noticing? Did anything resonate? What emotions came up as you tapped? Any fear, frustration, anger, maybe sadness or overwhelm? All of these emotions play a role in empathic distress or burnout. Pause the recording and just make any note of them in any event that you might want to tap on again later. But for now, let's do another round on any emotions that may have come up. Tune into where you may be feeling this emotion in your body. Maybe it's your head, maybe it's your heart, maybe it's your stomach. Just tune into that. Maybe even note if there's an intensity level with it. And let's start tapping. Even though I feel this frustration and anger, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I feel fear and overwhelm, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I feel sadness, I choose to love, honor, and accept myself and all my feelings. This frustration and anger, I feel it in my body, and name where you feel it. This frustration and anger, feeling it in my body. This fear and overwhelm, feeling it in my body. Maybe it's in your stomach or your chest. This fear, this overwhelm, feeling this sadness. I feel it in my body, maybe in my heart, maybe in my stomach. Acknowledging these difficult emotions in my body and giving my body permission to let them go. Releasing the anger and frustration. Dissolving the fear and overwhelm. Letting the sadness go. Replacing it with compassion for myself and for others. Take a nice deep breath and slowly release it through your mouth. What are you noticing now? Is it okay to notice that? Pause the recording and write down any insights you may have or anything else that you may want to tap on later. Nothing that comes up is right or wrong. It is simply more information on the parts of ourselves that may need space for nurturing or for healing. With that in mind, let's do one last round to tap in some self-compassion. Even though I've been feeling a lot of burnout, I recognize that the work I do is difficult and the resources I have are imperfect. And I choose to be gentle with myself about how I've been feeling. Even though I have been struggling with guilt about feeling this burnout at work, I recognize that I'm not alone in feeling this way sometimes. That to struggle with negative feelings is a human experience. And I choose to be kind to myself and my humanness. Even though I have been feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, angry, sad, and maybe even a sense of disconnection from my work. I choose to observe these feelings with openness and clarity instead of judgment, being mindful that my thoughts and feelings are signals that I might need to tend to myself with more kindness and compassion. I acknowledge the work that I do is hard and imperfect. I choose to be gentle with myself. I acknowledge that sometimes I feel guilty for dreading going to work. I choose to remind myself that I am human and I am not alone in feeling burnout sometimes. I acknowledge that sometimes I struggle with intense negative emotions or even withdrawal. I choose to practice mindful awareness that my emotions are a signal to nurture myself more. I acknowledge that sometimes I judge, criticize, and speak harshly to myself about my burnout. I may even say things to myself that I would never say to anyone else. Today, I choose to offer myself compassion. I choose to embrace myself with warmth, concern, and care. And I choose to support my well-being. I choose to embrace my passion, clarify my purpose, so that I can engage with a heart of service. Take a nice deep breath. Out slowly. My dear colleagues, may your social work month be one where you are reminded of your passion, your purpose, and your reason for service. And may you reach flow states every day. For now, I'm Kim Jackson-Massaro, and I'm sending you love and compassion, tapping to your health.